Hello, my Ozark friends. This is Vincent Anderson with Ozarks History. Good to see you all today. I'm so happy you would join us just for a few minutes. I'm going to just kind of bring you up to date what's going on here at Ozarks History. Did you ever get a blessing that you just didn't expect? That, you needed some assistance or help? Listen, I've said this for quite a few years. I am a turtle on the fence post. What is a turtle on the fence post? I didn't get here by myself. Somebody had to help me along the way. We are all turtles on the fence post if we want to go anywhere. We need the favor and grace of God and the favor and grace of other people in our lives. And if they're not in our lives, somehow they need to walk into our lives. And this is what's happened to us here at Ozarks History. We've just been blessed abundantly. And I want to share that blessing with you and what's actually happening at Ozarks History and how that's going to proceed here for the next month or so. As you have noticed, I have not had a lot of new videos on Ozarks History. The reason being, because of a blessing. More than I've ever imagined to have a blessing. Abundantly above all that I could ask or think at the moment on a certain project. This happens to do with a project that came to me just like I said, it was just a blessing. So I was delivered a piece of video film. And the video film, I have pretty much documented it from 1956 by the era of cars and vehicles and things that are happening in this certain area. And so let's go back to what this film really is. This is a 1956 16 millimeter color film from the Bull Shoals Dam area. So we have Bull Shoals Lake, Bull Shoals Dam, the White River, starting at Bull Shoals Dam all the way down the White River to Cotter, Arkansas. And it's fishing. There's a few hunting exploits in there of killing some deer, but it's mostly fishing on the White River. There are 3 people in this video that we're going to have produced here in January is going to confirm some of the things I'm saying, and some people already know this. But this video has 3 people that are so influential here in the Twin Lakes area. So when I say Twin Lakes area, that's Norfolk Lake that first originated, and then we have Bull Shoals Lake. So Norfolk Lake in the early 1940s, Bull Shoals Lake, early 1950s. So we have those 2 lakes on both sides of Baxter County, and we call this the Twin Lakes area. So welcome to the Twin Lakes area. And that's where I grew up and that's where I live. Bull Shoals Lake and Norfolk Lake runs up across the state line into Missouri. There you go, folks. Are you happy now? I said Missouri. I might go back to saying Missouri. It goes up across both lakes do, and the Norfolk River and the White River go up across the state line into Missouri, and there are also the lakes there too. So this video happens to be so influential from number 1 man. His name is Sam Welch. Sam Welch moved down from Missouri to Gamaliel, Arkansas, and he started guiding on the Norfolk Lake right when it started filling up. This man starts finding lakes then when they are built, and when they're filling up, he comes in and then he starts doing these fishing guide services. So he's working the Norfolk River and Norfolk Lake. He happens to have the ability to document all these different things that's happening every week. Sam Welch started documenting actually fishing for Field and Stream, some other magazines, I just now slipped my mind. And then he started making his own weekly, get this, he made his own weekly fishing report for Norfolk Lake. That actually caught the attention of somebody up in Kansas City at KCMO. The gentleman's name happened to be Harold Inslee. Harold Inslee, the sportsman's friend. He will come up prominent in just a moment. Sam Welch started writing these letters, and he became very consistent, and he was cranking out a letter every week. He ended up reaching over 500 distribution outlets, including radio stations, TV stations, and newspapers. People were buying his weekly letter on the fishing in Norfolk Lake. Bull Shoals Lake opens up. He's expanded, and people are going across. It ends up across 16 states. Up in Missouri, there are sportscasters that are reading up to 15 minutes of their time Sam Welch's newsletter. Those newsletters are actually kept in reserve at the archives at the Baxter County Historical Society and the Heritage Center there. But he documented the fishing every week. People were relying on those reports. The next person that comes in pretty prominent, I don't know which one to use. Oh, let's just go ahead. Let's just use Harold Inslee. Harold Inslee was reading the report. He becomes friends with Sam Welch. Harold Inslee is what we know as the sportsman's friend. He's the big fisherman. He loves to bird hunt. He ended up, go figure, he ended up started bird hunting around 1950, 51 down here in Gamelia, Arkansas. He loved to quail hunt. And so he was doing that with Sam Welch. Well, Sam is also connected with Bull Shoals Lake as it's filling up, and so Sam is actually doing fishing reports on Bull Shoals Lake as it's filling up, Norfolk Lake, and the White River. Harold Inslee is just having a blast with this. He becomes very good friends also with a man named Geo Tilley. Geo Tilley was actually in Gamelia also. Geo Tilley went over to Bull Shoals, Arkansas, and created a resort. And it's called the Village Anchor Resort there in Bull Shoals, Arkansas in the early 50s. From there, Harold Inslee would come down, start driving down. He was taking his 16mm camera. The thing about Harold Inslee with the Sportsman's Friend, he did this for like 41 years, the Sportsman's Friend. He was the first fisherman actually on the sports show on Saturdays, and some of the TV stations couldn't believe that people were going to watch this, but he hit a nerve and everybody was watching. He was doing it in full color, 16mm. So we receive a video of a film from 1956. My, 1956. This video shows Geo Tilley's resort, the Village Anchor. It also shows that he actually has a dock below the dam. He also has a dock above the dam on his resort in the Bull Shoals Lake. Well, what happens, I don't know the whole particulars, but the Corps of Engineers has to okay the permit for it to have a dock. One year they did not okay Geo Tilley. So Geo Tilley doesn't go down just going, woe is me. The man just kept going on. He went down below the Bull Shoals Dam, probably about 500-600 yards below the Bull Shoals Dam. He puts in a dock there, and it's not a small dock. It's a 2-story dock there on the White River, and he opens up and people are coming down, and we have flotillas being advertised in the newspapers in Missouri and in Arkansas about these flotillas of Geo Tilley going down the White River, and people are having a blast fishing. And they're documenting that. We have a video from 1956 that has been digitized by the Pryor Center at University of Arkansas. There's a gentleman, his last name was Pruitt. He actually went and purchased some of these 16mm films. Well, things that get thrown in the trash bin, you know, there's really no value to it. But actually this one right here that was headed for the trash was put in his box when he was at a yard sale in Mountain Home, Arkansas. Folks, you gotta watch those yard sales. There's gems in there every so often. There can be some junk. There's gems in there. He gets the videotape. He gets the 16mm film, takes it to the Pryor Center, and they digitize it. God in heaven only knows, and by the favor of the Lord, he brought that flash drive with that film to me. And so I am taking it right now. It's been digitized. It's in full color. There are some scenes that are pretty dark that needs some technology upgrade from what the Pryor Center did years back, but we are now taking that, we're lightening up some of the pictures and you can see what's going on. Harold Inslee is there fishing. So is his wife. One time he's got his wife down there, Bonnie. It actually shows Harold Inslee filming fishing on the White River. So he's creating the Sportsman's Friend on the White River in this video. And so we are working on this whole thing here. Now, And I want to put everything here in context. So I want to put Geo Tilley, I want to put Sam Welch and Harold Inslee in this whole mix here. And then we're going to sit and we're going to go through this video, this film of 16mm film, and we are going to enjoy 1956. It's because, I'm just going to tell you, Harold Inslee could have picked any other lake. He could have picked other beautiful rivers in Missouri and Arkansas, any other river. He chose this. He chose this one. He was so influential. And the lakes here, the Twin Lakes, are so pivotal for tourism here. And it influenced also Table Rock Lake. And so this is just not bull shows, Norfolk bull shows, but it also, we have some stuff on Table Rock Lake, how this stretched out. And from Table Rock Lake to Bull Shows Lake to Norfolk Lake, they are coming together and they are going to Sportsman's Expos together. These three lakes of information. It's like a Chamber of Commerce for the lakes. This is amazing. Chamber of Commerce for the lakes. And that's what's going on. And they're showing these big panels here. And so we're going through and getting the newspapers showing what's going on there. And we're going to put everything together in the best package possible professionally. That's why we're not really cranking out a lot of stuff on YouTube right now, because we are doing that. When is it coming out? Well, it's going to come out in January. Am I going to charge anybody to see that? No, I'm not going to charge anybody to see that. It was given to me freely. I'm not charging anything for that. We're going to put it up freely. Now, if you are a historical society in the Twin Lakes region, around Bull Shoals Lake, Norfolk Lake, you need a copy of this. And so what I'm going to do at the end of January, I'm going to get a big mass of flash drives. And for libraries and for historical societies, you need a copy of this. And so I am going to get you a copy of that. And so you're just going to have to contact me. What am I going to ask for in exchange? Oh, it always costs something, doesn't it? I'm going to ask your favor. I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe to these videos, because these are so important. And it takes a lot of time. We're going out and we're making trips, we're doing interviews. Listen, let me tell you what's in some of these videos. Tilley family. If you are part of the Tilley family from around here, you want a copy of those videos, I will get you a copy of that video. There's about 45 seconds, almost a minute, of little girls Easter egg hunting at the Village Anchor Resort. Beautiful, full color. Then we go down on the Bull Shoals Lake. It shows the lake. It shows the lake as it's being filled up. It shows the dam generating. It shows the boat dock of Geo Tilley. It shows the floral and fauna around the White River. It shows the prairie grasses and the flowers in 1956. Folks, we're losing some of the natural stuff in the natural state, okay? We're losing some of, we're getting invasive species here. So we're going to be able to see that. We're going to see shore lunches, and I've already been talking to 2 different guides. We're going to have shore lunches, and you're going to see what they're eating for lunch. They don't eat small steaks, they eat huge steaks. So we're going to go show you what happens in 2 days and the lunches that they eat, from steaks to pork chops to fried chicken to bacon and eggs. Oh my goodness, and the trout. They're actually catching trout in the early 50s in the White River up close to the dam. They're catching pretty large trout, anywhere from 7, they're 6-pounders, 7 and 9-pound browns. Where are those 9-pound browns coming from? They're coming from the Norfolk River. So they're coming out from the Norfolk River, they're hitting the White River, they're populating, and they're going upstream. And so we're going to see that. We're going to see what camping sites look like and shore lunches look like. We're going to see Greyhound buses picking up fishermen for these flotillas. Some very important guys coming down here. They're getting a glimpse of the Twin Lakes area. It changes Baxter County. It changes Marion County. It actually changes in Ozark and Taney County. It's this time period. In the late 50s, I don't have the date with me right now, so I'm not going to shoot the date off, but Harold Inslee actually shows up at the Baxter County Courthouse at the urging of the Chamber of Commerce, but he shows up there and he urges them, this is what needs to be done. If you want to promote the lakes here. And if you want to have an industry of tourism and fishing, this is what's going to take to promote it. He wasn't asking for their money, but honestly, folks, he could have gone to other lakes. And he did go to other lakes. He went all over the world, but he loved Arkansas. Why did he love Arkansas? Well, I'll tell you what, when he was a young man, he was a baseball player. He played for Bentonville and Fayetteville baseball teams when they were, Arkansas, Missouri was going back and forth in leagues. He was a very good baseball player. He had a .390 batting average, and he was a pitcher. He probably would have gone to the pros, except when he went out to California, he was doing some pitching at a baseball school. There happened to be, what was it? There was another baseball player that threw a bat towards him, not maliciously, but threw a bat and it broke his arm. He was a pitcher. He's out. So he comes back. He ends up in Joplin, Missouri as a pastor at a Church of Christ. And from that Church of Christ pastoring, he actually went on the radio and he was doing religious programs. And from the religious programs, they're hearing his voice and they're saying, hey, how would you like to do this on the radio station or the TV station, do the sports? The man was just honestly, he walked in blessing just his whole life. Even when things went wrong, the man walked in blessing. And it's pretty inspiring. The Geo Tilley walked in, there was a blessing. I mean, Sam Welch, all the things he did here. Sam Welch wrote those letters all the way from the late 40s all the way into 1966. It's amazing, and you do it weekly. And he was giving all these fishing reports, and people and fishermen were working with him. They were networking together. It just wasn't one little city and it's all about my city. It was networking together as a community of the Ozarks. You get what I'm getting at? It was an Ozark community, and it was absolutely amazing. And so this is what I'm really hoping to glean and pull out from the research that we're doing, from anywhere from the newspapers to personal interviews here in the next couple weeks, and then we're going to put it all together. We are going to show the whole thing in its entirety here on Ozarks History. So if you are not subscribed, I'm asking you, you need to subscribe, and we surely would appreciate it. Well, this is Vincent Anderson. So happy you have joined us for this few minutes of talking and getting together. I'm going to leave a few pictures at the end of this video, still pictures that we're clipping from the video. I think I'll do that. I'll put some videos at the end, and so you can see some of the quality stuff that's going on, and just downright blessed to have this opportunity. It's actually a blessing out here today. This is December. Oh my goodness, this is December 23rd. It's like 63 degrees outside. Welcome to the southern part. Oh, this is part of the South right here. This is the best part of the Ozarks right here. We're looking forward to seeing you and have you join us again on Ozarks History as we buckle up. We may throw up some more pictures and other videos, but when this whole video comes out, I think you'll be blessed too. And so I've been blessed. I want to pass the blessing on to you for those historical societies and libraries in the region that I think you need to have this. This stuff needs to be kept. Redundancy is the name of the game, redundancy. And so that's what I'm all about right here. Let's make this thing so redundant that people know it. And once we see that, we can start taking appreciation how things got the way they are now. Because we just cannot always live in the past of how things got here now. What are we going to do in the future? How are we going to take care of our resources? How are we going to take care of our White River, the Buffalo River? How are we going to take care of our lakes? We got to be proactive. This is Vincent Anderson for Ozarks History. Thank you so much. We'll see you very soon on Ozarks History. Bye-bye.